नमस्कार। श्री Ramakrishna Kathamrita तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृतो प्रथम भाग षष्ठ खंडो और द्वितीय परिच्छेद, and in this द्वितीय परिच्छेद Sri Ramakrishna is going to tell us about गुणत्रय व्यतिरिक्तं सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः ब्रह्मो त्रिगुणातीत मुखे बोला जाए ना. And to start this particular topic on how Brahman cannot be uttered, what Brahman is, nobody can define. It cannot be uttered by words. You cannot explain, you cannot put any kind of a definition or explanation to what Brahman is. And then Sri Ramakrishna had, when Master Moshe had asked him this question, that the compassion, kindness with which a person does good for the entire humanity, for all the beings in the universe, is that compassion also a bondage? Because normal understanding, like Sri Ramakrishna had told, that there is a great difference between Daya and Maya. Daya is feeling for all. Maya is attachment, doing something with attachment to for only those limited near and dear ones, my loved ones. That is Maya. And Sri Ramakrishna says Daya is far superior to this Maya, because Daya doesn't differentiate only those near me. Only those whom I love, I will do for something for them. Daya means it takes totality of the Lord's creation in consideration. That is Daya. That is compassion. That is kindness for one and all. Not only me and my family members, my friends, my near and dear ones. No. So Sri M had asked him this question, that is doing the work with compassion, with doya, also a bandhan. Doya o ki ekta bandhan. And Sri Ramakrishna had told him, what you have asked is highly subtle concept. Don't get into this, because whatever work a person does, the attachment to that work comes on account of the influence of three gunas of the Prakriti. Now, among those gunas, Daya, the compassion, is the nature of Sattva Guna. So, what Sri Ramakrishna is going to tell him, that even Daya is comparatively not so great, because it is still bound by the Guna, that all your love for the entire creation, for all the beings in this universe, your concern for them is arising out of this Sattva Guna. And then Sri Ramakrishna tells us that wonderful story of the three robbers who has robbed a person. The three robbers who has robbed a person, and in fact one of them wants to kill him. Another fellow says, why kill him? Just tie his hand and feet and leave him here itself. We have robbed him of all his possessions. We have got what we want. Now he doesn't have anything with him. Let us go our way. And while these three robbers are going their way, one of them finds some mercy on that fellow whom they have tied. He comes to that person, unties him, and tells, my dear friend, I will take you till the main road. Come with me. And that third robber takes this person to the main road and then shows him the direction, that there you go this way, you will find your house. And when this gentleman, he offers, you come with me to my place, I will give you nice things to some refreshments. This fellow says, no, I cannot come there in the open. The moment I come, police will arrest me. They will know who I am. They will arrest me. I cannot come there. And Sri Ramakrishna says, this third, the robber who said, come, let us kill him. He is the tamoguna. He is the tamas. The robber who tells him, let us bind him hand and feet and leave him here. He is Rajas. Tamas wants him to kill. Rajas says, doesn't matter, we will just bind him. Let him be here. And as those three they go on walking their way, the sattva, out of that compassion, out of that kindness, comes back, unties the man, shows him the path which will take that person to his ultimate home. But then Sri Ramakrishna says, even sattva cannot go with that person to his home. Sattva gun cannot go to a place where Brahmajnan is there. যেখানে ব্রহ্মজ্ঞান সেখানে থেকে সত্যগুণ অনেক দূরে. Even sattva guna remains far distant from the place where one gets the Brahmajnan, where one gets the knowledge of the Brahman. Now, none of these three gunas can. The most compassionate of these three gunas, sattva gun, even stays away from going near the Brahman. Because Brahman is just undefinable. Then Sri Ramakrishna says that Brahmo ki ta mukhe bola joy na. Says what Brahman is cannot be expressed in words. We cannot use this mouth to explain what is Brahman. It is not possible. তা মুখে বলা যায় না, যার হয়ে সে খবর দিতে পারে না. And he who attains Brahman, he who gains the Brahmajnana, he cannot give any information about him. He cannot give any description about Brahman. What is Brahman? সে খবর দিতে পারে না ব্রহ্ম যার হয়ে, যার ব্রহ্মজ্ঞান হয়ে, he cannot give any information, any description about what is Brahman. একটা কথা আছে. Now Sri Ramakrishna is in the mood of telling another story. A short story he tells. He says, there is a saying, কালা পানিতে গেলে জাহাজ আর ফিরে না. The ship which goes to black waters never returns. It just vanishes. That ship just disappears once gone to the black waters. What is there beyond? The ship cannot come back and tell. The ship gets immersed in whatever is there in the black waters. Now, Sri Ramakrishna tells this story that চার বন্ধু ভ্রমণ করতে করতে পাঁচিলে ঘেরা একটা জায়গা দেখতে পেলে. The four friends taking a walk, they come near a very high wall. A very high wall. That is a পাঁচিলে ঘেরা একটা জায়গা দেখতে পেলে. They come near a very tall wall. You cannot climb it easily. You cannot see what is there beyond. খুব উঁচু পাঁচিল. That wall, পাঁচিল, খুব উঁচু, very high. Then ভিতরে কি আছে দেখবার জন্য সকলে বড় উৎসুক হলো. What can be after that wall? All four of them, all his friends, all of them, they got very much excited. They wanted to know what can be there. What can be there? Very, very curious to know what is there lying on the other side of the wall. Bodo utshuk holo. Got very curious. Panchil be ekjon uthlo. Then one of these friends, one of these four people, he just climbed up the wall to look what is there beyond. What happened? ওকে মেরে যা দেখলে তাতে অবাক হয়ে হা 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 বলে বলে ভেতরে পড়ে গেল। What? The moment this fourth, one of them climbed up the wall and saw what is all there beyond that wall, he was wonderstruck and only he could exclaim, ha, 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 ah. He was so much wonderstruck seeing what is happening there beyond that wall and he just fell in. He just jumped on the other side. He was not in a mood, he was not in a position to tell his friends what is there. He became so much wonderstruck. He was so much awestruck, just exclaiming, ah, ah, ah. He just climbed on the other side. Now, আর কোন খবর দিলে না? He didn't tell any of the other three friends what is there. যেই উঠে সেই হা 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 করে পড়ে যায় one by one. The second one climbed. Then what happened? He also saw what is happening and all he could mutter was ha 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 and he jumped. He couldn't tell the other two what is there the other side of the wall, and that is what happened with all the four of them. And then the last fellow he climbed. There was no one behind to tell as it is that what is there. Now, this last person who climbed, he also, just seeing whatever is happening, all he could do was he could exclaim to himself, ha, 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 and he just jumped from that wall to whichever. Who could then tell what they saw? তখন খবরা আর কে দিবে? All the four have jumped the wall and gone and they have just merged themselves in whatever was happening there. Who will tell whom? No chance. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. That what Brahman is. We cannot tell by words what Brahman is. Even those who have realized Brahman, their condition is like this friend. First, one of the four goes, climbs that wall and sees what is happening. All he can utter, all he can exclaim is, ah, 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 and he jumps. Then goes the third one, second one, and when the first one, the remaining friend also climbs the wall and sees. And just exclaiming, ha, ah, ah, he also jumps to enjoy whatever is lying there. Then who will tell whom? What is there beyond that wall? Seeing Brahman is like climbing the wall, seeing what is on the other side, and then just it is only to be experienced. It cannot be described. And when the last person also takes jump, then who will tell whom what is there? At least when the first person is looking at it, there is a chance for him to tell the other three, oh, this is what is there on the other side. But he cannot. The second person who goes, he could have told the other two what is there. The third person, when he went, he could have told the only remaining friend there, says, standing on the ground, what is there, but he can't tell. And when the last person goes, then whom to tell? Whom to tell? He himself is enjoying that bliss. That bliss one is enjoying, then one who has enjoyed, that cannot be defiled by putting words to it. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says further, that it cannot be made uchishta. We cannot defile explaining what is Brahman. that is beyond words. So, what Brahman is? Neither of these three gunas they are capable of knowing what, and all our the physical knowledge, all this limited knowledge that we get through our perception, through the senses, is all limited because of these three gunas. The knowledge that we perceive is extremely limited. The knowledge that is there in this universe is just a minuscule knowledge. And we say, I have gained mastery, I have done doctorate in dairy technology, I have worked on such and such a project, I did my thesis, I did my research, and we get so much, our egos, they get so much bloated. I have studied medical science. What much, how much medical science one can study? At the most, one can become some gain expertise in one faculty of medicine, in one faculty of medical science. How much is the vast knowledge? We don't have any comprehension of the vastness of the knowledge that our mother is carrying, that the Brahman is carrying. And that knowledge that we gain is only because of the three gunas in this Prakriti, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. What makes us sense, what our senses make a sense of the sense objects, only we get that knowledge. We cannot go beyond that. And therefore, Sri Ramakrishna, through that story of the three robbers, he told us that first of all, these robbers, they can rob us of our real knowledge. Only the Sattva can bring us to the path. That is all he can do. Even he cannot take us to the Brahmadnyan. Sattva cannot come to where Brahmadnyan is there. Sattva cannot take us to the place where there is self realization. So that is all the limitation with the gunas. And therefore, no one has ever been able to describe what Brahman is. Brahmuki e mukher bola jaya. You cannot describe it. So that is where we will take a break of reading from this Dvitiyo Puriched. In our next reading, Sri Ramakrishna will tell us about Jodo Bharat, Dattatreya, Shukadev, and their Brahmogyan. How these Brahmajnanis? There have been Brahmajnanis like Jada Bharata. There is a Brahmajnani like Dattatreya. There is Brahmajnani like Shukadev, who have understood what Brahman is. And Sri Ramakrishna is going to tell us in our next reading about to what extent they could see Brahman, to what extent they could realize Brahman. So that is, we will see in our next reading. As of now, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.